Wow, I'm a walker. This is going to make me very nervous, sitting on this cross. I walk back and forth. 2003, I saw an interview with Richard Branson, and during the interview, he was asked, what's it like to be a multi-millionaire? And he looked at the interviewer very curious and said, what the fuck are you talking about? Before I bought an airline, I was a billionaire. There's the other F-bomb. Feels good, right? But the F word I'm talking about is failure. You know, it's interesting. I have an obsession with failure because I'm very good at it. I've done it a lot. In 2004 was the most tragic year of my life, and I agree with everything you say, but I was forced into unemployment. And I found a way. I have this theory that things only really learn when they start breaking. Now, in my research, the oldest business in the world is 1,300 years old. It was founded in 705 or 705, and it's a hotel in Japan. But the reality is, 60% of companies don't last 5 years. Staggering result, right? So ultimately, if all of us started a business today, you'd all be screwed and you'd be fine, right? So my question is, why don't we talk about it? Why don't we talk about failure more? When things don't work so often, why aren't we having more and more conversations about that in our business? I'm obsessed with this, and I spend a lot of time looking at that. Consider the motor car company. We got approached by a big motor car company a few years ago to go and work with them, and we quickly said, no, we can't help. And you know, one of the reasons was I think it's one of the most unimaginative industries in the world. And I'll give you some reasons why. In basically 150 years of history, this is like the timeline. The first motor car was built in 1862. It was built with 4 wheels, a motor, a chassis, and a steering wheel. Henry Ford builds his company in 1903. 1927, he builds the world's first commercially available motor car. Again, 4 wheels, a chassis, a steering wheel, and a motor. And then, of course, our family car. Same thing. Fast forward to today. Now, this is 150 years of evolution of the motor car. Not much has changed, okay? It looks different, right? Apparently, I heard a statistic the other day that 60% of motor cars crashes are caused by reverse parking. In my house, 100% are caused by women. So I think... It's my wife, she's over there. Now, here's a statistic for you. The average speed of the motor car in New York City in 1927 was 25 kilometres an hour. I don't know what that is in miles. In 2012, it was 27 kilometres an hour. Now, motor companies collectively across the world spend $28 billion a year to get this great innovation, right? $28 billion a year. Imagine what you could do with $28 billion a year, right? Why are we still reverse parking cars? That's my question. Why can't they go back and the wheels turn sideways and we just go in? Sure, we can do that for $28 billion, right? Blue Chili would be able to help, I'm no doubt. There's a reason for it. It's because we continually invest in what is rather than what might be. This is a very important point. We get given a thing to fix and we look at that thing and we try to improve it. That's not innovation, that's failing. What we need to do is reimagine what life might be without it and reimagine human benefits of that innovation. So only 9% of companies last 40 years. 9%. We could argue that 91% of the things that we do every day, we work on, isn't working. 3.6 billion people live below the poverty line. That's scary. So we spend 40 hours a week, all of us, making the world poorer. We could argue. I find this a really scary statistic and I feel really responsible for that. So the work we do every day is we work with businesses on making innovation happen, solving real human problems. Put your hand up if you ever want to start a business and haven't done it. Be honest. You know, why? You know, there's no real reason why. People look at failure as this endpoint, as this other extreme of success. It's not an endpoint. It's just this thing. It's a part of the journey. We talked about good ideas. We need to be more creative in our businesses and in our lives. Through creativity, we'll learn how to play again, like our kids. You know, people with kids sure get that. Through play, we develop good ideas, and through good ideas comes great innovations. Here's the Google car. Apparently it can reverse park itself. George Bush said on the war in Iraq, failure is not an option. This is a dangerous idea, because if it's not an option, then it makes failure invisible. And over time, it'll become inevitable. It'll sneak up on us when we don't want it to. We need to see it coming, and we need to be prepared for it. The maths on failure is simple. We can fail as often as we want. We're still going to survive, right? We're still going to be around. Success is one thing and it's one moment. The more and more we failure, it's basically just teaching us something and moving us closer towards that goal, whatever success is to us. It's really important looking at the maths. So be brave. The people who put their hand up, start that thing tomorrow. Don't stop. I've had thousands of failures and I'm still here and I've still got healthy kids and I've still got a good wife. I hope. So start it now. I saw this great talk by Jim Carrey. Hands who saw it? It was amazing the other day. Google it. He basically looked at it and he said about his dad's career as an accountant. You can fail at doing something that you hate, so you might as well take a chance on doing something that you love. Thanks.